And when you look at the broader political equation here, Parnell, the government did, through its budget, through the energy rebates, but those tax cut changes as well, they've had this cost of living issue front of mind. So are we seeing the various institutions here balancing out with the Fair Work Commission, maybe not going as far as it might have done if those other policies weren't in place?
Yeah, I think that is what the message was. It was that we're trying to do something about the cost of living. But to get to what Simon was saying on the future made in Australia, that's where it all comes unravelled. So there are some great messages about cutting tax for middle Australia, about wage increases, about those sort of important frontline things. And at the same time, you've got this fantastical strategy where billions of dollars of taxpayer money are being pumped into hypothetical energy sources with no return to the Australian taxpayer at all. There's no equity scheme that we're aware of where the Australian taxpayer gets to own part of this. There's not even a sort of a business case process that we're aware of at this stage where we know that there is going to be a return on the investment. At this moment, all we know is that this money will be going to whoever lobbies the hardest, and that tends to be, government favourites at this stage. So there's not just a picking winners issue here, there's also a rent issue, sort of rent-seeking issue, and that's the last thing we need baked into the economy when we're concerned about productivity.
Simon Banks, is this a vulnerability for the government?
No,
in that sense?
and Parnell's got it wrong, because if you actually look at the centrepiece of the policy, it's actually about production credits. You actually have to produce things and make a profit selling them in order to be able to get the tax offset. So, in fact, I think she's actually misunderstands the policy here. The policy here is not driven by just cash out the door and who cares about the consequences. In order to be able to actually claim those tax credits, the business are actually going to have to be productive and profitable. That's how the system actually works. So quite differently from how she's described it.
It has to produce something, not an outcome, though.
No, it has to produce, for example, hydrogen or critical minerals, but you only get the tax credit if you're paying tax. In other words, if you're making a profit. So it actually rewards the very productive outcomes that we want in our economy going forward.
Simon and Parnell, we've got to wrap it up.